Hi everybody, Father Rich Jasper from Immaculate Conception and St. Jude Mission Church. We are in week 5 of Lent, and today is Monday, April 7th. We're still with the Gospel of John, and so this is John chapter 8 today, verses 12 to 20, and John writes, Jesus spoke to them again saying, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. So the Pharisees said to him, You testify on your own behalf, so your testimony cannot be verified. Jesus answered and said to them, Even if I do testify on my own behalf, my testimony can be verified because I know where I came from and where I am going. But you do not know where I come from or where I am going. You judge by appearances, but I do not judge anyone. And even if I should judge, my judgment is valid because I am not alone, but it is I and the Father who sent me. Even in your law, it is written that the testimony of 2 men can be verified. I testify on my behalf, and so does the Father who sent me. So they said to him, Where is your Father? Jesus answered, You know neither me nor my Father. If you knew me, you would know my Father also. He spoke these words while teaching in the treasury in the temple area, but no one arrested him because his hour had not yet come. Again, Jesus is being very bold and forceful with his words. Part of this is coming from the space of, in Jewish understanding, there always had to be 2 witnesses. And if those 2 witnesses agreed, then truth could be verified. And so therefore, Jesus is making it very clear. When I, Jesus, testify to the truth, I am also with the Father. He and I are the ones testifying to truth. And so therefore, he calls them out and he says, and you don't know the Father and you don't know me. You don't know us. And yet for 3 years, I have spent my life showing you who the Father is and who I am. And quite honestly, the entire Israelite journey has been the journey of the Father showing his covenantal love, who the Father is, who the great I am is, which is interesting now then that in this particular gospel passage today, Jesus says, I am the light of the world. You won't walk in darkness if you have me as your light. And I love that understanding. When we invite Jesus into our lives, when we ask him to come in, when we ask him to pour his grace and his mercy into us, then we really walk in his light. And yes, sometimes the road may not be clear, and sometimes it may seem dark and confusing, but it is always his light that will lead us to resurrection and to truth. That's the key here. And that's what I love about what Jesus is saying. His light is the light that lights the way. His light is the light of truth. And when we get into that space, because here's the other piece of this, sometimes being human, being fallen people, we judge God, we judge God's ways, but we also judge one another. And Jesus is really calling us out on that to remind us that judgment is God's alone. And we cannot be the determiners of judgment. We do, though, and I will be the first to say in my own life, I have judged people before knowing their story, before knowing the cross that they carried, before knowing perhaps why they are acting or thinking the way that they do, and I've judged very quickly. And so one of the things perhaps that Lent can help us do, one of the things that the light of Christ can help us do, is to go into that space of judgment that we all fall into and simply just say, when those moments happen, Lord, forgive me for judging. And I ask you in your mercy to love, to bless, to heal, to protect the person or the situation that I am judging. Forgive me for not knowing their story. And I ask you, Lord, to give them your grace. Every time we judge, I think that's the way that we can share a little bit of that light, to know that we never know a person's full story because they don't even know our full story. And so if we offer that light of Christ, if we go into that space and say, Lord, sorry I judged, give them your healing light, give them your hope, your peace. I think that's the way that we love like Christ. and we shed and share his light in the way he calls us to. God bless you.